My disgraceful best friend is getting married to my attacker and wants my daughter to be the flower girl. So I told her in absolutely no way would my daughter be attending her wedding. My best friend, Rachel, and I have been best friends since we were 3 years old. She has always been my rock through everything, especially when I was pregnant with my daughter. My BFF was the first person I told about what David had done to me. It was her and her mom who took me to the police station. It was she who sat with me crying in the school toilets when I was sick. It was she who watched all the videos sent to me by the baby support class. As you can see, I gave birth to my daughter when I was 15. Her biological father, David, has had no interaction with either of us since the night I got pregnant, nor ever showed interest, until now. To address the elephant in the room, David raped me when I was 15 and he was 21. He was charged with the statutory rape of a minor, which is a Category 1 for harm because it resulted in a pregnancy. He served around 3.5 years of that sentence before being released and was on the Intimacy Offenders Register. David gave up all parental rights in a plea deal for a lesser sentence. My husband adopted her, and she knows they're not related biologically, but they absolutely adore one another. Now, on to the main thing. I came back to the UK from Japan to meet my nephew but booked to stay for a few weeks to visit my family and friends, but it was all a surprise. No one except my mum knew we were coming over. It was really fun and so lovely to see everyone's shock and surprise. My daughter is having the best time with her aunts, and they're all so excited to see her in person. I decided to also surprise Rachel, turning up at her house, ringing the doorbell, and seeing the man who raped me was the last thing I was expecting. I assumed by some twisted and cruel coincidence that I got the address wrong, but then Rachel came to the door calling him babe. It honestly felt like a horrible cliched teen movie where the main protagonist caught her best friend and boyfriend together. I knew she was seeing someone, but said that she wouldn't let me meet them until it was in person. She's my best friend, and I had no reason not to trust her. I know that makes me stupid as hell, but I just never could have thought she'd do this. It's been 3 days since then and she has been blowing up my phone, begging to talk, and I finally gave in. She said she was sorry for how I found out about them, and if I could forgive her for falling in love with my ex, which not only pissed me off but also my husband who knows everything this whole ordeal put me through. I cut her off, saying I couldn't have this conversation especially since my daughter was in the room, and she replied something like, well, she'll have to find out about the wedding soon for dress fittings. I asked her what she meant because no way did I hear that correctly, and she said that is her soon-to-be stepmom. She wants her as the flower girl, as we have always said since we were growing up that our kids would be a flower girl or ring bearer. I told her in absolutely no way, shape, or form would my daughter be attending that wedding. She said I was being petty and jealous and that I can't stop her real dad from being a part of her life. We've not spoken since this morning on the call, but I'm already receiving messages from our mutual friends saying that I've caused her to break down and ruined her wedding, but I genuinely believe I am not only morally right but also legally. Update. Because of this, we went back to Japan. I've had no communication with Rachel or anyone who reached out to me to complain that I ruined her wedding. One friend went as far as to confront me at the pharmacy, but luckily my sister was ready to fight and he backed off. No one knew we were leaving other than immediate family, so there was no hassle there. I truly hope that one day I'll understand what our has done, and what has happened to her and our former friendship to lead to this, but alas, for now, it remains unknown.